All right, I want to start this video by giving the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Lord's elect, beginning with the 144,000. This is a Ratazah from the Great Millstone GMS Atlanta camp with another video. All right, this video is going to be centered around an article that I have from Express. All right, as you can see there in the title of the article, and I'll just read it verbatim. It says, "Face of Jesus is unveiled by AI using Shroud of Turin, after astonishing discovery." And then it says, "Exclusive, as scientists claim to have, quote unquote, proven the Shroud of Turin dates back to Jesus Christ's time. Daily Express has used AI to reveal what he may really have looked like." All right, so this video is going to be pretty much a back to basics type of video. So I want to bring out some color scriptures because we, us coming into this knowledge, waking up to the fact that we are the Israelites, which the Israelites consist of so-called blacks, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, basically a big chunk or a big part of us waking up to this truth was learning, obviously knowing who we are, but understanding that the Lord was a man of color, all right, which his real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. All right, Yahweh Shai was a so-called black man, all right, which you see all of the different images out there that, brothers put up, whatever, all right, a so-called black man or dark-skinned man with woolly textured hair. All right, and the scriptures give you those traits, okay? When you read in particular Revelation chapter 1, all right, which Lord willing will read that, as well as Daniel chapter 10. So the fact that you use these, different AI image generators, and it's basically imprinted in the minds of the people that when they think about the Lord or think about quote unquote Jesus, they think about white Jesus, all right, which is essentially this guy named Cesare Borgia, I believe is how you say his name. All right, Cesare Borgia. He basically posed for the portrait or the image of quote unquote Jesus. Okay, during the Renaissance era. The Renaissance era, which the word Renaissance means the rebirth, which was in, I believe, the mid to late 1300s, if I'm not mistaken. And that was when the so-called white man basically came back into power, because prior to that, blacks or Negroes ruled Europe or dominated Europe. And during the Renaissance period, that's where they came with all, which they call it the Renaissance art. All right, so you see all of the saints and the different Bible quote unquote characters all painted as so-called white people. All right, which is essentially iconoclasm. Where they painted over the dark images and put up the white images. As a matter of fact, let me actually go to that. I think it's in First Maccabees 3. All right, let's get a couple of scriptures here. It's not going to be long. All right, First Maccabees 3, and I believe it's the 48th verse. All right, let's go to that. So this is First Maccabees 3 and 48. It says, "And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images." And that's essentially what the so-called white man did, man. He's opened the book of the law, which the book of the law is what? It's the Bible, okay? Because the Bible is a book of laws, statutes, and commandments. And they sought to paint the likeness of their images. They took the Bible and they basically whitewashed it. That's why, which we really don't get that as much now as we used to. And what I'm speaking about is that you would have a lot of Jakes, a lot of Negroes that would come up to the camps, or they would scoff the Israelites. They would say things like the Bible's the white man's book, right? the Bible's the white man's book. Why you reading the white man's book, the white man's Jesus, and all of that? But you don't really hear that like that much more. I know with us in our camp, and I'm pretty sure it's no different for you other brothers out there that may be watching. You don't really hear that talking point out there no more, because it's just so much truth out there. All right, as far as the Bible and basically the Israelites being out there setting the record straight. You don't really hear the whole Bible's the white man's book thing no more. But the reason why Jake was thinking that is because of the scripture right here, right? The heathen, which the heathen in this sense would be the so-called white man, Esau, took the Bible and painted his goddamn likeness. All right. And another one to go with that. All right. The old faithful, the old classic, Job chapter 9, verse 24. All right. Job 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. So that's how this is one of the key scriptures that we use to pinpoint who the wicked of the Bible is, who the devil that the Bible speaks of is the so-called white man. The earth is given into his hand. All right. You just look at the earth. You just look at the climate of the earth. It's under a wicked rulership. And everybody knows that the white man's ruling. Everybody knows that. Nobody thinks that, it's the Chinese, or it's somebody in Africa, no, it's the so-called white man. He's ruling the earth. According to prophecy, the earth will be given into his hand, and he's known as the wicked. Okay, you can read that also in Malachi, the first chapter. And then here's the point. It says, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. The judges are the men in the Bible. All right. The men, the judges, the kings. All right. The prominent Israelite men. He covered their faces. How? By, essentially changing their faces, changing it from the dark images to the goddamn, pale images, or the damn whitewashed image. That's a part of the covering. All right. He covered their faces by covering their true identity or their true features. It says, if not, where and who is he? If he's not the wicked, then where's he at? It's basically what this verse is saying. All right. So I'm gonna go back to the article. I'm just read a little bit from it. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. All right. So it says, you got a lot of ads on here, Slovakia. It says artificial intelligence has recreated, quote unquote, face of Jesus Christ from a piece of cloth some believe was used to wrap him, after his crucifixion. It says the Shroud of Turin has divided opinion for centuries, with some claiming an outline of Christ's face can even be seen in the material. Others routinely dismiss it as a forgery, but new technology used by Italian scientists suggests that the 14-foot linen sheet may indeed date back to the time of Christ, which that Shroud of Turin, supposedly, as we just read, some type of sheet that the Lord was that's all BS, man. Esau does not have the actual fabric or garment that the Lord was wrapped in. They don't have that, man. This is total madness. This is a damn hoax. All right, and supposedly in the damn fabric, it's supposed to be an imprint of the Lord's face. All right, now this is the image that the AI generator, which I believe is called Mid Journey. As you see the subcaption to this picture here, it says Jesus appears to have long flowing hair and a beard according to AI. But that's BS, because what the scriptures say about a man having long hair, it's a shame unto him. All right, I believe that's in 1 Corinthians 7, if I'm not mistaken. It's a shame for a man to have long hair. All right. We know that the Lord wasn't a Nazarite because he drank wine, right? Nazarites not supposed to drink. So the Lord drank wine And with Nazarites would have they would often have braids. Okay, you had Israelites that wore braids, not dreadlocks, because you read locks in the Bible and you think it's talking about the dreadlocks that Jake wear now. No, locks are talking about basically basically having braids in your hair. All right, like Kawhi Leonard or people like that. So yeah, this is the image that they put, which we know this is not how the Lord looked. All right, now the actual thing that they using is this right here. I mean, this is a joke, man. All right, this is supposed to be the image of the linen that they supposed to be got, and you see it looks like a face outline. So they're saying that's quote unquote Jesus. That's BS. All right, so let's see here. Let me read this paragraph. It says while skeptics believe an unknown 14th century artist faked the Shroud of the Messiah using powdered paint on either a sculpture or the body of a model, many Catholics are convinced that the bolt of cloth was somehow imprinted with Christ's image at the moment of resurrection. It's all bullshit, man. All right, I believe the first part. Yeah, somebody came and took some powder and painted on it and just said, "Oh, just the sheet that was the Lord was wrapped in." This is all BS, man. But yeah, this is supposed to be the image that the AI generator put out, which of course is going to do that because that's what it's out there of how, as far as how the Lord looked. That's what people believe. They believe he looked like this. Which what we was, as we say, why would the Son of the Most High have leprosy? Okay, when you have leprosy, that means you don't have any pigmentation. All right, you don't have the dark melanin. You lack the pigment. That's essentially leprosy. All right, which is really a curse. It's a curse to look like this. Now, in the book of Mormons, or the Book of Mormon, however you say it, I forgot what book and chapter in there. But in there, it's actually the other way around. They say that being dark skinned is a curse. All right, you could check that out if you haven't seen that. But yeah, in the Book of Mormon, they believe that it's a curse to be dark skinned. But in the Bible, it's a curse to have no melanin. All right, and that's the mark of Cain. When you read about how the Most High cursed Cain in the Book of Genesis because he killed Abel. And he put a mark upon him. That mark is what you see, all right, not having no melanin. So yeah, this image is it's some straight up BS, man. So let's get a couple more scriptures here. Like I said, this is more of a basic video. I just saw that and I just laughed, man. When it was people that still believe that's how the Lord looked. Oh, as a matter of fact, before I get that, let's get the one where the Lord said, is that John 4? Where the Lord said, they that worship the Lord must worship him in spirit and in truth. Yeah, I think he was talking to the woman at the well, I think. I could be wrong. Nope, I got it. The water Yahweh Shai, St. John 4:24. This is when Yahweh Shai speaking to the woman at the well. And he says, I get to the point, St. John 4:24. It says, God or the Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Right? That's the main point I wanted to get. And in truth. So people say, oh, it don't matter what the Lord look like. No matter what Jesus could be any color. Jesus could be a white man. He could be yellow. He could be green. Yeah, it don't matter. And no, it does matter. Truth matters. If you're going to worship the Messiah and the Creator, you're supposed to worship them according to what the truth is. We ain't supposed to worship no goddamn white Jesus. All right, or no white Son of the Most High. He's a so-called black man with woolly textured hair. So that's according to truth. All right. But because, you know, the so-called black man carries a negative stigma, and essentially the world just hating niggas. So they basically refuse to submit and admit that the Lord was a so-called Negro. So that's why they throw around there. Oh, it don't matter what he looked like. Oh, he could look like this. He could look like that. Oh. Well, you ain't worshiping the Father in spirit and in truth. And on top of that, the Most High, all right, when he shows himself in a physical form, he shows himself as a so-called black man. Also, all right, as pursuing in Daniel chapter 7. But let's go ahead and get these last couple of scriptures here. All right. So yeah, you got to worship the Father and the Son in spirit and in truth, man. This is it's Revelations 1:13. It says, and in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. All right, so you don't get it confused. This is referring to Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the Son of Man that John is seeing in this passage here, in his vision. This is a cloth with the garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with the golden girdle. Right, a garment with a gold belt around his waist, or girdle. All right, 14. It says his head and his hairs were white like wool. All right, the head and his hair is referring to the head on his the hair on his head and the hair on his beard. His head and his hairs, man. All right, white in color, woolly in texture, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So there you go. All right, a dark man. Okay, his feet. We always make the point of your feet is the same color as the rest of your skin on your body. All right, your feet is not one color, and then the rest of your body is your feet, like your feet is not gonna look like mine, and then the rest of your body gonna look like damn Joe Biden or something. No, it's all gonna be one color. All right, and the reason why he was able to see his feet is because he was wearing more than likely the Lord in the vision was wearing sandals, or something to that effect, some type of footwear, to where John was able to see his feet. All right, so now let's go from there. All right, basically the same scripture in Daniel's chapter 10, I believe it is, in verse 5. All right, now this is the prophet Daniel now. Daniel's 10:5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl. All right, the beryl is, I believe, is a green color. So when it speaks about his body, it's referring to the garment he was wearing, not his actual body, like his skin tone. No, it's referring to the garment he was wearing. All right. So in this vision, he had a green garment on. It says in his face as the appearance of lightning. All right, we know the scriptures say a man's wisdom maketh his face to shine. It says his eyes as the lamps of fire. All right, and it says and his arms and his feet. Now here it mentions his arms too. All right, so this is certain scriptures that you just can't get around, because people like to get stupid. Somebody like a vocab. This guy vocab. He'll try to find some type of way to wiggle around this and make it seem like the Lord, like, no, I ain't what talking about. See, he's talking about the eyes and the arm. This dude vocab will find some type of way to spin these two scriptures to say something other than what it means. It's clear as day what it's saying. All right, read again. His arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. Polished brass is brown. Okay, this is not polished brass right here. Okay, this what you're seeing. This is not polished brass. This is This is this is pale. Okay, paleness. All right. Nor is that hair white and woolly. All right. So it says, in his arms and his feet, like in color to polished brass, and his voice, and the voice of his words, like the voice of a multitude. I mean, he had a heavy, deep, godly like voice. So, yeah, there you go. So, and then you can go deeper to further prove that the Lord was a man of color, because the Lord was he was a Jew from the tribe of Judah. We can get all the scriptures where it alludes or it tells you that the Jews or the Israelites were dark. All right, how Joseph and Mary was able to hide. All right, when who was that? Herod was basically killing his sons or the firstborns in Jerusalem, and the angel told them to take the Lord and hide in Egypt. If they were so-called white people, why would they hide in Egypt when Egypt the Egyptians were essentially Hamites. All right, dark-skinned people. All right, it was a guard that had thought, who was that? The Apostle Paul. They thought Apostle Paul was an Egyptian that was starting uprisings in Rome. All right, the Egyptians are black. They're dark-skinned people. Moses. You read Exodus. What's that? Exodus, the 4th chapter. Basically, one of the first miracles Moses did is when the Most High told him to put his hand in his bosom, and his hand came out white. When he put it back and took it out again, it went back to his other foot. So there's all types of scriptures that lets us know that the Israelites were brown, and the Lord was an Israelite of the tribe of Judah. You see? Now, also, just to put it out there, now you are going to have Israelites that could potentially look like this guy. All right? Yeah, you're going to have Israelites that actually look like this because of the so-called, quote-unquote, mixing, which is really no such thing as a mixed person. You are who your father is, but you can look like a mixed person, right? You could have some of your father's features and have some of your mother's features. So you got certain Israelite foreigners that'll have, leprosy, so to speak, or don't have the pigmentation or melanin. But for the most part, the default Israelite, all right, is a person of color. They're brown. So, yeah, just another video to show that this is just some straight up BS. That Shroud of, what is it? The Shroud of Turin or Turin, however you pronounce it. That's a goddamn hoax, man. Esau does not have a sheet or a blanket that the Lord was wrapped in, man. That's a goddamn lie. All right, so with that, all right, just a couple of basic scriptures to throw out there. All right, I could have went more into it, got more of the color scriptures, but the point is proven. All right, the Lord, all right, is a man of color. The Israelites, by default, are a dark-skinned people, different shades of brown. All right, and that's just facts, man. So, with that, Lord willing, you was edified as well as informed. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rachak Wadash, and Lord willing, to the next video, we're going to say Shalom.